Hi, my name is Vatsal and today I'm going to be talking about suppression of minorities in the US. So, in history class, if we had Miss D. Pascal or Mr. Hyde, we learned that white colonizers have been suppressing uh, minorities like Native Americans and black people ever since they landed on this America. So, Native Americans, they were stripped of their land, their culture, their traditions. Similarly, uh, black people, they were put into slavery. They were forced to follow Catholic Church, and they were stripped of their traditions. So Martin Luther King and other people, they tried going against the suppression. So here we can see that dog which represents state troopers and this old black people. They're all tired of getting denied to vote and getting denied to have human rights. So other people who were minorities who were suppressed were Japanese Americans. After World War One, they were put into internment camps, and they were treated just like those people in Germany. So an example, recent example that we can look at is Eloise Cobell. She handled the Native American Bank, and when she was going through all the cases and everything, she figured that Native Americans were paid less than minimum wage for the oil that was taken by U.S. government. So she went to the court and argued that they should be paid for it, but she had to be in court for 15 years and nothing happened. The judges, like Judge Lambert, if they even supported Eloise Cobell, they were stripped apart of their position. Judge Lambert said that when people like this come into power, they suppress the minorities. So another example that we can look at is Shelby County versus Holder. So Shelby County versus Holder said that uh, voting rights, which was by the moral courage of MLK, is unconstitutional. Now, states who were supposed to report to federal government didn't need to report to federal government. So this is bad, but they thought that now state governments don't care and are more diverse, but they were wrong. So here we can look at this 29 states over here are all changed their restrictive voting laws. There's been 94 restrictive voting laws that's been passed right after 2010, which was when Shelby County versus Holder announced that Voting Rights Act is unconstitutional. All the X's that you see were all under voting laws. So you can see that all states were just waiting for this law to go away. Another problem that we have is that U.S. government creates so many programs, and they put millions, if not billions, of dollars in these programs. But the problem is that there's this one program called Broadband Program, which has 57 programs and 14 agencies. So the problem that was reported by Native Americans is that they were having trouble going through all these programs. Another problem they had that the application was so big that no one was able to fill it out, and it was kind of like a scam from US government. So the problem is that can United States government take any measures to avoid the suppression of minorities and give them a chance to grow? So one solution that I came up with is that government agencies should go to Native American lands and territories and help them guide themselves through these different programs. Because they made so many programs and they're so hard to apply for, agencies should be created to help guide them through these programs. So the pros and cons are that more people will be able to benefit from these government programs. But the cons is that agencies might switch their focus from putting more money into guiding people than in the programs itself. Some limitations are that the government keeps making new programs and agencies, and they put billions of dollars in that. So they should reduce the number of programs, but focus on more people getting benefits from it. So, because of the limitations, another solution that I came up with, the Selby County case should be overturned and all states should be required to report their actions to the federal government. The pro is that this will strengthen the supremacy clause, which means that federal power is greater than state power, and all state governments should report to federal government. But the con is that many state governments might protest against it, and we might have another civil war. Some limitations are that the acts already passed by the states are not subjected to change even after the case is overturned. Thank you.
All right, so we have some questions for you today. How did your research question evolve as you moved through the research process? Did your research go in a different direction than you originally planned?
So originally I was focusing more on how the suppression of minorities was caused just by the U.S. government, but then I realized that there are branches of U.S. government which also suppress minorities. So that's how I evolved.
Okay. And then lastly, what additional questions emerged from your research? Why are these questions important?
So as I was going through my research, I found out that there are more programs, but there are not that many people benefiting from it. So when I did more research into it, I figured that where is this money going? And then I realized that there are corrupt people in U.S. government which are getting more benefit from these programs than the people who need it.
Okay. Thank you.